Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where it's great to be all elite, baby. It is Lost in the Midcard. Here we are. We are here for the fallout from All Out. We're going to talk about All Out, which happened this weekend. It was absolutely tremendous. We're going to talk about Dynamite tonight, or last night as you're listening to the podcast, which was absolutely tremendous. And we've got a whole lot of fallout, whole lot of news regarding All Out, a whole lot of news, period, to get to talk about. So let's just get right into it and make sure that you are following Lost in the Midcard either by podcast, searching for Lost in the Midcard. Look for that thing that says new feed, and you can find us on the podcast thanks to anchor.fm. You can find it on Pocket Cast, iTunes, Spotify, anything there. Also, the video version of this podcast is available on the YouTubes. Do us a favor and subscribe to our YouTube, and the links are on our website, litmcpodcast.com. You can get the links at facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard or our Twitter at LITMC podcast as well. Make sure to give us a subscribe. We're trying to drive up the YouTube numbers a little bit and kind of get that going a little better. And give us a little orange casty thumbs up. Give us some comments. We'd love to hear from you. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
Pro wrestling's a beautiful thing, my man. Pro wrestling is the best.
Wow.
AEW makes me happy.
I was gone for All Out. I got back literally as Kenny Omega was making his entrance. So I was pretty happy I got home when I did. Holy fuck. Has there been ever a more insane end to a pay-per-view, Matt?
Not that I can recall.
Holy.
I'm sure some jobbers would say Brock Lesnar coming back as SummerSlam.
No.
But that's not.
No. God, yeah. So I came back home at the right time, watched the main event live. Then whatever, all the gloriousness that happened after that match, and then I got on Fight TV. How about that, Matt? I wonder if this is gonna be a regular thing.
I hope it's permanent,
because my God, Bleacher Report sucks. I'm sorry, but Bleacher Report sucks.
I've heard nothing but bad things about it.
Well, they killed BR Live.
I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, they killed BR Live, and so now they don't even have a standalone app. You got to go, and I couldn't fucking find a way to fucking buy it. I tried my hardest, and it took an act of God to figure out how to buy it. Seriously, that sucks. Please, Fight, or whatever.
Fight was super easy.
Yeah, Fight is always super easy. I mean, I used it for GCW this weekend. Art of War Games was fucking great. The Chicago screw job in full effect. Effie's Big Gay Brunch was tremendous. We got to see the return of Jake Atlas to the ring. That was a tremendous main event with Effie. GCW had a great weekend. New world champion, thanks to the screw job. It was all a great weekend of wrestling. And yes, Fight is so much better. Fight is just well done. That shit they have, and whenever they merged BR Live with Bleacher Report, just is terrible, fucking terrible. So thank God. Hopefully Tony Khan is listening. We know he is, and puts everything on Fight going forward, including Full Gear.
I think that's the way to go.
Full Gear,
and especially with as many buys as they got.
Right, I did not hear the number, but
the rumor is they did around 200,000 buys.
Damn.
Which is almost double, what they normally do.
That's WWE level numbers, man.
So, like, to me, that's like, you have to put some credit on fight being available in the United States as being a reason. The reason for that. So I hope Khan can point to that to Warner, be like, look at all these extra buys we had when we had it on Fight in the United States.
Right.
We need to keep it on Fight.
Yes.
So that's my hope. That's my hope anyway. When I heard like the projections are like 200,000 buys, I'm like, oh hot. Damn, that's incredible.
No, it's WWE level numbers prior to the network. Because I remember breaking down the network, and I'm saying, if Vince could get 1 million subscribers, that equals basically what their pay-per-views were getting, a fourth of the pay-per-views, so 250,000 buys. That's right there at WWE levels. We'll see what Dynamite comes out to levels next week once we get to the numbers. Of course, if you obviously you don't have to wait till next week's show. If you know the right avenues, look ahead of time to Matt Black will probably be writing a Sportskeeda article on it tomorrow as we see what numbers are probably around 4 Central, 5 Eastern is about the time frame of when the ratings.
We ain't getting those numbers tomorrow, man. We won't see them until Friday, thanks to Labor Day. Everything's a day behind. NXT ratings will be out on Thursday, and the Dynamite ratings will be out on Friday.
I didn't realize the whole week was fucked because of it.
Yeah, it fucks up the entire everything's off by a day.
Well, maybe our buddies at what's that website? That's been doing it.
I'm assuming you're referring to Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics.
Yeah.
As far as I understand, he gets this information from the same place that Showbuzz Daily does. So I don't foresee those numbers being available until Friday. I wish they would be, but that's from my understanding they won't be.
All Out kicking off the buy-in with 8-man tag Best Friends taking on Best Friends and Jurassic Express taking on the Hardy Family Office, with the good guys getting the win. Jungle Boy making Angelico tap out to a snare trap. I did not watch the buy-in. I should.
It was a fun 10-man tag.
Butcher made his return.
It's not like you missed anything if you didn't tune into the buy-in.
Butcher making his return from injury, as it was reported by Mr. Sean Ross Sapp that he was going to be in Chicago. So welcome back, Butcher. TNT Championship, Jesus Christ, what a way to kick off a pay-per-view with Eddie Kingston and Miro just beating the dog shit out of each other. Just a tremendous match. Miro cheating to win, which could maybe set something up in the future. Maybe Eddie gets a rematch because of the low blow and wins in New York. What do you think, Matt?
I don't know. They've already signed one match for Arthur Ashe,
the Grand Slam,
and I think I'm still pitching the 8-man tag of Kenny Omega, Adam Cole, and the Bucks against Bryan Danielson, Jurassic Express, and Christian Cage. I think you do that in Arthur Ashe.
When are we going to get one-on-one then? As we got teased on Dynamite tonight, obviously you think Full Gear is.
They can't do it anytime soon. They fucking can't. They can't. You can't fuck over Hangman. Like, unless Hangman's going to be gone for way longer than anybody could have fucking predicted. Like, you can't go to. You risk fucking Hangman over permanently by pulling a stunt like that. You can't do it.
I would not mind if Danielson and Omega are not for the title. So it is after. Well,
you also got to keep in mind when the very first Dynamite after Christian debuted in AEW, he stared off with Omega,
and that took a while.
And teased the championship, and that was like what? That was back in March.
Yeah, that took a while.
And he didn't actually get a match with him until August. So just because they're having to stare off now, they're starting to build, doesn't mean the perfect dude. Do it in Revolution. Because if Heyman wins the title in Full Gear, Omega won't have the title come that pay-per-view. You do Danielson and Omega at Revolution.
That'd be crazy.
Something that'll sell the damn fucking pay-per-view all by itself.
It'd be crazy is something that AEW has not done is go to the West Coast much. What if Revolution's in Seattle?
They're saying, like, from my understanding, they won't be hitting the West Coast until next year. So
Yeah,
I mean, that's entirely
well,
possible.
Revolution won't be till next year. So
If I'm AEW, I want to make sure I have a Dynamite in Montreal in January.
so what'd you think of that opener, man?
Oh, you're just gonna totally no sell my comment. Such a bitch.
Montreal. Oh, you want to? Why?
In January.
Montreal.
Come on.
Montreal in January.
Put it together. Why would I want AEW to have a Dynamite in Montreal in January?
A gentleman, a gentleman by the name of Kevin Steen,
and his buddy El Generico.
Oh, you think Zayn's up in January?
Oh,
too?
they're coming together, baby. They're coming together.
Here comes the outsiders.
I think, from my understanding, Zayn's deal is probably going to be up before Owens.
But we'll get to that story.
I think he'll sit around and wait. They're going to come in together, baby.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's just get to it now. Fightful
Too exciting not to talk about.
Fightful Select dropped a bomb on us last night that Kevin Owens' deal might be done sooner than later.
It is.
It is. Prior to the pandemic, when Fox signed their 5-year deal, a lot of contracts got restructured within the WWE, one of which is that of Kevin Owens, originally a 5-year deal that would have went into 2023. Now, all of a sudden, is up in nigh of 4 months, January 2022. If you wonder, well, not everybody can go to the AEW, all the fucking WWE marks. Look at Twitter. Look at Kevin Owens' location on Twitter. It says almost there. Look at the Young Bucks' Twitter and look at where their location is at. It's called there.
There. Kevin Owens also yesterday afternoon, before Sean broke this story, and it didn't dawn on me when it happened. I'm kicking myself for not figuring it out.
Yeah.
It totally went over my head. He put up coordinates on his Twitter account like yesterday afternoon, and I put him into Google, and it's for Mount Rushmore.
Yep.
And I'm like,
he deleted that tweet too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck's this about?
Well,
I wasn't thinking about the Mount Rushmore faction from Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, which includes Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens, Adam Cole, and the Young Bucks. Yep. And I'm like, fuck, if my brain would have been more functioning yesterday, I could have got that story out before Zach did.
Right. And then Cassidy Haynes dropping some knowledge, as he's been doing a lot lately with Body Slam, and he is reporting that it's a foregone conclusion that Owens is out the door.
Well, I will say it's not Cassidy Haynes reporting it.
Well, I saw it come from him.
He's quoting John Alba. John Alba's Living the Gimmick podcast.
Oh.
So if you go into the Body Slam article, he's crediting John Alba. From John Alba is stating from the WWE sources that he has spoken to today, the expectation from them right now on September 8th, 2021 is that Kevin Owens will be departing the company when his contract's up in January.
Fight, Steen, fucking fight.
Can't wait to get that shirt. I missed out on getting one in Ring of Honor. I won't miss out on getting it again.
I got the DVD. Thanks, Steen. Thanks. I got the DVD. I don't have a shirt. I was not into Ring of Honor at the time because that was before our podcast started. And then I guess I would credit Matt for getting me into Ring of Honor because I started watching when we started doing the show. So
could you imagine over the next 6 months, we could potentially be seeing Bray Wyatt, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn all jumping to AEW on top of that roster that they already have right now?
Now, I understand people saying there's so many people there. It's going to screw some people over. Well, yes and no. There are going to people that there will be a handful of people that don't re-sign next year. A lot of 3-year deals are coming up next year. So there's going to be a handful of people that do not re-sign. So, and at the same time, you can't push everybody at once. Not all the WWE guys are literally taking over You know, Hangman Page is probably going to be next in line for that title.
I hate the term WWE guy. Like,
Yeah.
CM Punk hasn't been in professional wrestling in 7 years.
No.
And technically, WWE took him from Ring of Honor.
And if
So
you
want to get fucking technical, he's a Ring of Honor guy.
There's a lot of
technical, Bryan Danielson's a Ring of Honor guy. If you want to get technical,
Seth Rollins.
Adam Cole, Kevin Steen, and El Generico are Ring of Honor guys.
And Seth Rollins and Cesaro.
AEW is Ring of Honor in the next generation.
What was I going to say?
AEW is Ring of Honor with money.
So people are, a lot of people are bitching that all these WWE guys are coming over there. Let me tell you this, the roadmap right now, as far as I know, just either based on my years of wrestling knowledge or knowledge of the business in general, the roadmap for the title is going to go Hangman, MJF. Those are not those guys. That doesn't include any of those guys that just came over at all.
One of those guys could be the one to take it from MJF.
Will Punk be a world title?
Punk could take it from MJF.
Will Punk be a world title holder? Yes. Daniel Bryan, if he wants.
At some point.
If he wants. I don't know if he wants, he probably doesn't care. He just wants to fucking let's fucking go. He just wants to wrestle. Look,
anybody that's complaining about the size of this roster isn't looking at the big picture.
Yeah.
The bigger the roster they have, the better they can handle things.
Exactly.
Everything remains fresh. You can rotate the talent around.
Mm.
You can give talent time off when they need it.
Mm.
You don't have to be dependent on the same matches every single fucking week. NXT, when it was at its height of popularity, you never saw the same guys 2 weeks in a row.
No.
It always rotated people out. So every time you saw the guys in every 2 to 3 weeks, when you'd see them, they felt fresh.
Yeah.
It was exciting. It was the NXT roster depth at their peak was incredible. And AEW's got that luxury now too. You aren't going to see the same guys every single week, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. If we see this level of growth, not just with bringing in guys, but just this level of growth of AEW in general, man, I don't know. I don't know if I want to see it, but I mean, Dynamite 3 hours and Rampage to 2 hours.
They're definitely not doing a 3-hour Dynamite.
Look how fast
Tony Khan is dead set against that.
I
think it's for the best.
Rampage could go 2 hours
if they move it to a different night.
Yeah.
If they decide to move Rampage to like 6:05 on Saturday nights.
Yeah.
Like that, that could work. But the 10 p.m. time slot, it doesn't work for 2 hours. It doesn't work for a 2-hour show, and the Dynamite ratings showcase that when they had to be there on Friday nights. So
yeah,
but yeah, look, there's nothing to say that a year and a half from now AEW can't add another hour of television on the Rampage.
Yeah,
and they can move nights. I mean, that's not a problem at all.
That 2 hours just went by so damn fast tonight.
Yeah, look, when the product's good, that shit just breezes by, and yeah, Dynamite completely breezed by tonight to the point where, like, when the main event was starting, I looked at the clock and I'm like, damn, like they're hardly gonna even have time for this match because so much time's gone through tonight. Like I didn't even realize how late it was.
Yeah.
At that point it was like I think it was like 9:47 or something when the bell rang, and I'm like, oh damn, okay, because I was thinking we were gonna get like a 15-20 minute match between these guys, but. Obviously that didn't happen.
Next up,
I'm just saying, like, I don't understand the people's complaints about the roster size. I think they're out of their minds, and they need the star power anyway. The more
it's the same WWE marks that say there are too many factions in AEW.
Yeah, because it can't be the AEW fan base that's complaining about this. It can't be the people that actually watch the product, because that wouldn't make any sense to me at all. Like the people that are complaining are the people that aren't even watching the show, and at that point their opinion really doesn't fucking matter anyway. Shut up. Yeah, exactly.
Next match, Jon Moxley and Satoshi Kojima. Holy, these guys. Speaking of the main event tonight, these two beat the dog shit out of each other too.
My God.
Tremendous match. I mean, for a guy in his 50s, or he's exactly 50. I mean, Kojima put together a damn good 12-minute match, and I say 50. Well, there's a bunch of guys that are 50 in the sport, but I mean, he's been doing it for 30 years, much like Jericho, and impressive to have a 12-minute match that good with John Moxley. Moxley winning with the paradigm shift, and out comes fucking Minoru Suzuki, and the fucking crowd lost it. It gets in the ring, a holy shit chant starts. I mean, they had a holy shit chant tonight on Dynamite as he's making his entrance. How many times do you see a holy shit chant as a guy makes his entrance, Matt?
Did they do one for Malachi Black the first time he came out?
They might have.
I think we might have got that for Malachi Black's entrance too. But
so Suzuki and Moxley beat the dog shit out of each other, and then Suzuki puts the Gotch style pile driver on Mox, and then puts him to sleep with man, what a moment for Suzuki. And then they announced right away that he's going to fight Mox on Dynamite. We'll get to Dynamite in a little bit. I got some thoughts on that as well.
Do you remember the WCW video game WCW versus the World?
I heard of it, never played it.
Okay, that reminds me of Moxley's life right now. It's this John Moxley versus the World. It's over GCW World Champ, fighting the entire New Japan roster one by one, fighting somebody in AEW if he comes out. It's John Moxley versus the World. He could have his own game mode on the AEW game next year.
Yeah,
it's John Moxley.
It's like
a freaking gauntlet match.
It's like the Mortal Kombat towers.
Yeah. God, please don't put towers in the AEW games.
What was I gonna say? Oh, fucking GCW. I mean, I'll probably talk a little more about GCW, but I knew once the Druids came out for G Raver. Once the Druids, I knew one of them was Mox. I just knew it because it just fit, because he's pissed that Cardona, acted like him.
That weird moment when GCW has better long-term storytelling than WWE. I'm just saying.
You watched the Art of War games, didn't you?
I watched most of it. I kind of really wasn't paying attention until the actual
that War
Games match.
Holy fuck, was that crazy?
The rest of the show was kind of on in the background.
Yeah, there was some pretty good moments. We'll get into those a little later on in the show. But Art of War Games was tremendous. GCW ran a ton of shows this weekend. I only watched Art of War Games.
Yeah, I heard they did like 3 or 4 shows in Chicago. I'm like, that's a little bit overkill, isn't it, guys?
Yeah, they did one Thursday and one Friday. Because Friday was 3 Cup Stuffed. Danhausen was on that card.
I wish I'd have watched it just for Danhausen. He was not pleased that he was not number 1 in the PWI 500 today.
He got screwed again. I bet he moved up from 170 though, or whatever he was. He was like 170.
That's a good question. I wonder what he's ranked. I don't. I've only seen the top 10.
That's all. I don't know where we'll get into that later.
I saw wrestlers posting their rankings today, so it's out somewhere. I'm just not sure where it is.
We'll get into that.
Maybe like the digital copies available somewhere.
Yeah,
I haven't actually.
I just ordered the physical copy, so
you know what? I'm actually gonna try to see if I can find that list while we're talking.
If not, I got the top 10 somewhere. So, yeah, we'll get into some Art of War games later. I watched. There was 3 Cup Stuffed, which did have Danhausen, and he was part of the. I think he was part of the MDK team on that show.
I got it.
The whole 500.
Yep.
All right, link me. We're going to talk about it later.
Okay. I'm looking for Danhausen.
Just either Zoom or Twitter, whatever. I got them both up.
I'm sending it to Twitter. That's where I went to first.
AEW Women's Championship, Britt Baker, DMD, taking on Chris Statlander. That was a tremendous women's match right there. I thought that was spectacular. A great ending, I thought. With Britt Baker coming out on top, no surprise there. Andrade El Idolo with Chavo Guerrero, and talking about Pac missing his flight, and they announced that Andrade and Pac are going to happen on Rampage. So no open challenge from Andrade on the pay-per-view. Oh man, I don't know, Matt. Could this possibly be match of the year? Young Bucks and Lucha Brothers.
I definitely think it'll be in the conversation at the year's end. I can tell you that much.
Yep.
I don't want to safely say it's match of the year, but I definitely think it'll. I think when December comes to a close, I definitely think it's going to be.
It's going to be nominated.
Yeah, I think it's going to be in the discussion.
Just so much that happened in that match. Cutler bringing in the secret bag of that it actually was the Nike that had thumbtacks all over it. And man, with them stuck into Penta's mask, I thought that was a pretty cool moment there. Bloody battle. These guys just fucking tore the house down. There's not much else that my words are not going to be able to do it justice, but that was a 22-minute classic. Much like
what was Danhausen ranked last year?
Around 170.
171.
So he went up like 6. I think it was 177.
Man,
I thought he'd be up a little higher this year.
Yeah, I'm looking at this list, dude. I'm telling you what, I don't agree with a lot of these rankings.
He didn't wrestle.
I'm looking at shit in the 100s, and I'm just like, how are some of these people ahead of other people? It's very confusing.
He did not wrestle many matches for Ring of Honor during that period, the period that the PW Insider or the PWI, it goes from like July to June. And
Pete Dunne was 100.
Huh.
Warhorse was 97. How is Warhorse like 70 spots higher than Danhausen?
A number of matches kind of comes into play on that too, but yeah.
So weird.
Man.
Yeah, so some of the Leo Rush is at 53.
And he barely wrestled. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, and he was injured a lot.
Yeah.
Like I'm very confused. I'm very confused by some of these rankings. Braun Strowman 1 spot ahead of Walter. It is a weird list, man. I mean, we could talk about it later if you want, but it's pretty wacky.
Yeah, we'll get her pulled up.
I'm going to see who number 500 is.
Me.
Number 500, Lulu Pencil.
Okay.
That girl who accompanies Emi Sakura on the AEW shows.
Yeah.
Swoggle at 494.
Saying it should be higher?
Were you like, no, I'm just questioning if they were just running out of people at that point. Petey Williams at 481. Good Lord.
So tremendous match. Definitely go out of your way to see that tag match. It's going to be up there for match of the year once it's all said and done. After the match, Penta's daughters come by and wife to help celebrate. They were running out of time though, so they had to kind of rush them off. That was kind of unfortunate, but
one more real quick question about the PWI 500 before we continue. Is this the first year that they've had both men and women in the 500?
I thought the women had their own.
Yeah, so did I. There's a lot of women in this list this year. So I'm curious if they've merged the lists.
I got my Mox magazine somewhere. I'd have to look.
Like I remember, like there was a men's and a women's. Like there's a PWI 500 for the men and like a PWI 100 for the women.
Yep.
And I'm seeing a lot of women in this list.
I'd have to look.
Which is very like I'm not complaining. I mean, it's pretty cool that it's cool that they're in here, but it's surprising.
Yeah.
For me to see that.
Yeah, I'd have to look. I'm not 100% sure on that. Women's Casino Battle Royal. Next up, the clubs come out first. Hikaru Shida, Emi Sakura, the Bunny, Abaddon, and Sky Blue getting a good pop being the local girl. Sky Blue replaced
Julia Hart.
Yeah, Julia Hart, that match. Diamonds came out next. Anna Jay, making her in-ring return. Big pop for her. Kiera Hogan, Kylan King, Diamante, and Nyla Rose. Then the Hearts came out. Thunder Rosa, Penelope Ford, Riho, Jamie Hayter, and the Spades were the fourth group with Ty Conchi, Red Velvet, Layla Hirsch, Jade Cargill, and Rebel. And then the Joker, we all knew that was coming. Ruby Soho coming out to the Rancid theme. Love it. Big pop for Ruby. She looked absolutely happy to be there. After it was all said and done, came down to Ruby, Thunder Rosa, and Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose gets dumped out, and a good final two between Ruby Soho and Thunder Rosa, with Ruby Soho getting the win and gets a shot at the AEW Women's Championship. Got that prediction wrong, Matt, but I ain't mad that I got it wrong.
Ruby Soho.
I just saw that band a few weeks ago too.
I'm no Taz, but I do what I can.
Taz is a crooner, you know it.
I love when Taz sings the Jurassic Express theme on Dark.
On Dark, yeah.
Does it all the time. I've been waiting for him to do it on Dynamite, and he hasn't done it yet. Like, come on, man. Give me what I want.
Okay, Batista.
Give me what I want.
Next up, MJF and Jericho. Jericho loses. He has to retire from wrestling competition in AEW. This was a good match, 21 minutes long, and
I think it was too long.
Yeah, that was a good match though. I thought it was very solid. Minimal distractions because Hager immediately stopped Wardlow, so that was really the only kind of distraction in the match. I thought it was good storytelling, and I thought Jericho making MJF tap out for the first time in his career was fitting. And the Inner Circle guys come out to celebrate afterwards.
I think the match should have been 5 minutes shorter.
Okay. Yeah.
I will say the funniest part is all the people on the interwebs act like
Marks.
They're sick of Jericho and they want him to retire, and MJF should have won and blah blah blah. That diehard loud ass crowd in Chicago vehemently disagreed.
Yeah.
With the internet's opinion that Chris Jericho should go away. So,
well, I wouldn't call it the internet's opinion. I would say the Marks' opinion.
Yeah, I guess.
It was a stupid idea from bad creative.
I'm going to go see Fozzy on Saturday.
Yeah, my show got canceled and never rescheduled, so.
Oh, that sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, my show got rescheduled for this Saturday.
But mine got rescheduled like 4 times before they finally canceled it, so.
Yikes.
You stupid idiots.
CM Punk, he got a pretty good pop, didn't he?
A little bit of a pop.
And the return of its clobbering time for CM Punk, and it's like riding a bike, ain't it, Matt?
It was so good, dude.
7 years.
They told a fucking amazing story in that match.
7.5 years away from the ring, and he puts out a 17-minute classic with Darby Allin. Tremendous storytelling there, and the first go. I love Darby's bump on the first go to sleep out of the ring. That was
right out of the ring.
Mm-hmm. That was a pretty sweet bump.
Punk's like, no. I think my favorite spot of the match is when Darby went for the coffin drop and Punk just sat up like the Undertaker.
Yeah.
And he had this look on his face like, I saw that coming, you son of a bitch. It was great.
And then just before the second go to sleep, we get the classic little pose that Punk is telling you it's time to go to sleep.
Yeah, but Darby reversed that one.
Oh, yeah, he did reverse that one, didn't he? Well, he didn't reverse the last one.
No, not the last one, because he got it. He hit it quick. Yeah, the match was awesome. They told a great story. Punk's as good as he ever was, and I can't wait to see him mix it up with Hobbs and Starks, and I still don't think he's fighting fucking Hook. Like,
come on, the internet wants it. The internet wants Punk.
Look, the internet is the same people that want to see Hook wrestle the world and want to see Chris Jericho retire. I'm sorry that I can't take these fans' opinions at face value.
Well, you're not talking about the same fans, first.
No, it's pretty much the same fans.
No.
I've seen the same fans marking out for Hook and the same fans that are begging for Jericho to go away.
That's not me, so.
Well, I'm telling you what I see on the social media, pal.
Punk after the match, he yells, "I'm back, motherfuckers."
I'm motherfucking back.
After the match,
And we're motherfucking happy to have you.
After the
Very
match,
happy.
After the match, Sting comes into the ring. They shake hands, help Darby up, and they shake hands there too.
I was really expecting Bryan Danielson here. Not gonna lie.
And then Punk. Well, see, I had avoided all spoilers, so I had no idea if Bryan had been out yet or not. But then when they started doing the yes chants, while Kenny was talking, I had a feeling he hadn't come out. And then nobody had any idea that Adam Cole was going to show up tonight either. But
I did. Andrew Zarian posted a picture of a Panama sunrise Sunday afternoon and said, "Nice view," with a winky emoji. And I said, "Oh my God." And I'm not talking like Panama sunrise, the move, like legitimate picture of a sunrise in Panama. And I'm just like, you sneaky little bastard.
And then a funny moment at the end of that segment, Punk teasing to go into the heel tunnel. Or maybe he was just confused because AEW switched the tunnels again.
Yeah, dude, we're going to talk about that tonight.
Well, we can talk about it now. They switched the tunnel. I just said it. They switched the tunnels.
It fucking drives me nuts, man. Look, I don't look. It depends on whatever side they film on the hard cam. When they film from this side, they flip the fucking tunnels. The tunnels look the fucking same no matter what side they film from. They need to stop doing that. It is confusing to the casual fan that doesn't understand. Like, we understand the face tunnels on the right and the heel tunnels on the left. But when you're having all the baby faces come out of the left on nights like tonight, it confuses people. And if you're gonna do that, get rid of the face and heel tunnels and make a new stage, because it's a confusing mechanic for your product that you need to get rid of. You don't need to be confusing your audience like that.
Still thought it was funny. Should I go over here?
No, it was funny, but it made it annoying what they did on Dynamite tonight.
Yeah.
Because you have established those tunnels as being important. Like, I knew Adam Cole was going to be with the Elite on Sunday night because he came out of the heel tunnel. He didn't come out of the face tunnel like Bryan Danielson did. He came out of the heel tunnel. So, like, that kind of shit is important. So, you're establishing that kind of stuff. You have to keep it uniform from show to show, or else you're just confusing your audience.
Yeah, I don't know why they switched.
It's really fucking weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Next up, announcement that Full Gear is moved to Saturday, November 13th, as Tony Khan said in the post media scrum. He's friends with Dana White. He doesn't think they should be taking money off of each other's tables, so he has moved it back a week to November 13th, or move it ahead a week to November. Well, whatever, however you call it. It's a week later.
Yes, move it ahead. I hate this decision, by the way.
Why?
Because unless it's going to end up like being in DC, like I've lost my chance to go to Full Gear, because it's not going to be in St. Louis anymore.
Yeah. Well, how would St. Louis be any different for you?
Because St. Louis is where one of my friends live, and we were all going to get together there and go to the show. And now that I'm hearing the rumors it's going to be in Minnesota, I'm definitely not fucking going to Minnesota. And unless they surprise me and put Full Gear in Washington D.C., which I would love, by the way. DC deserves its first AEW pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Baltimore had one. Give DC we host the first fucking Dynamite. Damn it, give us a fucking pay-per-view. And unless they give us Full Gear, like I'm gonna miss the show, and it fucking breaks my heart because I was dead set on going the Full Gear. I don't want to go to fucking Minnesota in November. You know how fucking cold it's going to be in Minnesota in November?
Man, it won't be that cold. It doesn't get butt naked cold till January. It'll be fine.
In Minnesota?
Yeah. I live in Nebraska, remember?
How close is that to Minnesota?
It's a quick hour flight, a few hours. It's like a 6 to 8 hour trip, probably 8 hour trip.
If Full Gear's in Minnesota, are you going?
Maybe it'd probably be a cheap flight. I was thinking about driving to St. Louis because it's a 6 hour drive. I gotta see how money situation. Money situation is going to be a question all the way until next year when I get my bonus. Then it'll be a little better. So I'm withholding breath until because like flights to Chicago were ridiculous.
Well, look, if you're going to Minnesota, that might change the game.
Yeah, I'll see.
I might end up going. Like, I don't want to go. The whole thing, I don't go by myself.
Yeah, if we get
I want to go to an event like this with a group of friends. I don't want to go on my own.
Yeah, if we can get a goddamn announcement. I figured the announcement would drop tonight.
So I thought they were going to announce it, following the pay-per-view, and they didn't do it. So I'm just like, what the fuck you waiting on? Like, the damn show's 2 months away at this point. Like, fans need to plan their fucking travel. Fucking tell us where it's going to be.
Some probably already had.
Dude, I am so happy I didn't book my flight. I almost booked my flight to St. Louis like a week and a half ago, and I would have been so fucking mad had I done that. So, like, I already felt bad enough that I feel like I might miss this pay-per-view. Had I booked that flight and they changed it, I'd have been furious.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how many people do that far ahead, but I mean the date was known, so
yeah. I don't think booking a flight 2 months out is really unheard of.
No, because it's usually cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. That was my game plan.
Good to see Paul White out there beating up QT Marshall in a 3-minute match. He looked pretty good, I thought, in the ring.
It's all it needed to be.
Yep.
Short,
it almost
sweet,
got
and to the point.
It almost got cut. That was going to be the match that was on the chopping block because they were short of time.
Really?
Throughout most of the show.
When did they say that?
Oh, I can't remember where that came from, but I
haven't heard that. I haven't heard that from anywhere.
I saw that from a pretty credible source. I just can't remember which source right now. But yeah, they were running short on time throughout the whole event, and that would have been the one on the chopping block if they were out of time.
That's weird. To me, the pay-per-view seemed paced perfectly, and they still went off the air a few minutes to midnight. I felt like the timing for everything was perfect.
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, if you noticed, with Penta and that, they were rushing his family off. They were trying to get that segment over with real quick. Yeah, you could tell that they were kind of pushing it throughout the show. The main event, Christian Cage, Kenny Omega. It was tremendous, but we all knew without a shadow of a doubt that Omega was going to win here.
I'd have been a lot more excited for this match had I not seen it 3 weeks prior.
Yeah,
I stand by that. I actually think the match on Rampage was better.
Yeah,
to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like I don't know. It was a pretty good.
The match was fine. It was a good match. But I mean, like I truly think the match on Rampage was better. But look, no one fucking remembers the match anyway. Everybody remembers the one-winged angel off the top rope finish and what happened after. Yeah. That's all anybody fucking remembers. So, and not that big of a deal.
It was a pretty tremendous 20-minute match though that they put on. But yeah, it's all about the end. Kenny Omega getting cutting a promo saying day in, day out, you're in, you're out. He said you're in. He goes, all of the people that could take the title off me are not here. They're retired or they're already dead. And as soon as he said already dead, the lights go out.
You know it's all about that boom.
Bryan Danielson? No.
Cool, baby.
No. Adam fucking Cole, baby. My God, that I'll tell you what, Mikey Ruckus, man, that theme was perfect for that moment because once it hit and then it just wiped Adam, wiped the logo. Perfect way to debut it, man. I thought that was just fucking tremendous, baby.
Ruckus does a lot of work. That might be my favorite AEW theme right now.
That is
he fucking nailed that because you know how much I hated his last NXT theme. Like I fucking hated that theme with a fucking passion. That generic fucking shitty rock track they gave Cole after the Undisputed Era split.
Oh, he had a hand in that?
No, I'm saying I hated it in NXT.
Oh.
So I'm saying how big of a deal it is that I think Cole's new theme from Ruckus is one of the best themes in AEW. It's really fucking good.
Yeah, it is tremendous. And then I saw some people, we'll get to that in a minute, but Adam Cole fucking roof blows off Chicago, and Adam Cole gets in the ring, does his Adam Cole baby. Holy fuck, was that loud? That was a fucking great Adam Cole baby. And so he's like, staring down the, he's like, you know what you guys did to me, and then just as Jungle Boy gets up, fucking hits him with a super kick. Oh, the Elite has gotten stronger. The Super Elite, the Super Click, whatever you want to call it. Adam Cole baby is in it, and BTE is going to be better for it. So Kenny Omega hands the mic off to Adam Cole. So it's a return of story time with Adam Cole, baby. Something that had unfortunately disappeared on NXT, right, Matt? We did not get much story time, did we? And Kenny Omega was about ready to bid us adieu when some more familiar music hit, huh, Matt?
Oh boy,
some more familiar music. Flight of the Valkyries. Fucking Bryan Danielson is All Elite. Comes out to a gigantic pop, gigantic yes chants, and a melee ensues with some yes kicks and a knee. And my God, what a way to end the pay-per-view, Matt. What a fucking way to end the pay-per-view.
Hashtag good shit, pal.
Man, I saw some people bitching about the theme. I'm like, no, I like it. I like Daniel Bryan's kind of.
It's my understanding. Khan reached out to get the final countdown.
Oh, really?
And the asking price from Europe was so obscene that even Tony Khan wouldn't pay it.
That's dumb.
So that must mean like the asking price was stomach turningly insane.
The thing is that song still gets used in commercials and shit, so that's probably why.
Maybe.
Just a guess. Just an educated guess. I'm curious how much a flight is from Omaha to Minnesota. When is it? November 13th, right?
Let me look at the calendar real quick. I think it is. Yeah, November 13th. Like I said, the rumor is Minnesota. So, it's not confirmed, but PW Insider and Sean Ross Sapp have both said Minnesota. So.
I can get there and back for $96 each way. That's not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, maybe I'll go after all.
We'll have to see.
Just need some friends to go with, damn it.
Man, what a fucking night though, man. Unbelievable. Just throwing those two in the same segment at the end was brilliant, wasn't it?
I fucking loved it, man. Fucking loved it.
All right, so the fallout from All Out. Dynamite tonight in Cincinnati, home of Jon Moxley. We kick things off with Malachi Black and Dustin Rhodes. Good opener. Man can still go for being in his 50s. I think he held up very well against Malachi Black. Took an exposed turnbuckle to daze Dustin into the black mass, and Malachi Black gets the win. Eddie Kingston cutting a promo. I don't think he's done with Miro, is he?
Doesn't seem like it.
Cult of personality hits and Cincinnati going nuts. And I thought it was great when Taz got on the mic and wondered if the feel good bullshit tour was going to end anytime soon, something like that. I thought that was good. So clearly, I love the back and forth with Taz and Punk. I thought it was tremendous. Clearly, we're setting up a Team Taz and Punk type of feud here down the road. Obviously, Punk has said he wants to wrestle Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. God, that match with Ricky Starks is going to be phenomenal. Can't wait. So that was pretty damn good. Tony interviewing Ruby Soho, and Britt Baker interrupts and talks about how she spent 4 years in catering. And Ruby telling Tony, I know you're friends and all, but I'm going to whoop her ass. Powerhouse Hobbs took on Dante Martin. Once again, Dante Martin looking fucking tremendous, isn't he?
Dude, he's a star, man. His brother better get healed sooner. He might be left in the dust, pal.
Brother's going to be left on dark.
He needs to get back and freaking get that top flight tag team going soon.
I don't know when he's due back, but
I don't know either. But man, if I'm him, I'm like, fuck. I gotta
right?
get back. I gotta get back to that fucking raid, pal.
Yeah, maybe he'll.
My brother's taking all the spotlight and shit.
Maybe he'll catch. Isn't he the younger brother too, Dante?
I think he is. Yeah, I think Dante's the younger brother.
He's like 20, maybe. Insane. Dude's that young and that good. That's not fair. But Powerhouse Hobbs got the win. Then we got Dan Lambert with the Men of the Year. Dan Lambert sure knows how to be a heel. That was a lot of fun. I invited some people to come up to the booth and shut them up. Never got a follow up on that. I was kind of hoping we would, Matt.
Yeah.
Speaking of Matt Hardy says he wants to shave Orange Cassidy's hair, and he's like, yeah, whatever. MJF, boy, was MJF on fire tonight, or what, Matt?
Yeah, I thought this promo was a hell of a lot better than Lambert.
Yeah. Oh, fucking MJF talking about how Mama should have swallowed and going after Linda Pillman. It was so funny that Linda Pillman, the mother of oh my God, she was like holding in laughter when MJF was insulting her. I thought that was just fucking hilarious. And then of course, MJF talking shit to Pillman's daughter, and that brought out Brian Pillman Jr. to a big pop. And I thought that was a pretty good pro. I mean, Pillman's been having some pretty good promos, and he jumps in and attacks Wardlow. Well, Wardlow got kind of made a bitch out of from MJF, and so he kind of took his time, kind of pulling Pillman off there a couple times, didn't he?
Second time, he definitely did.
MJF, of course, blaming Wardlow for his loss to Jericho, so he just told him to sit in the corner and look pretty. But eventually the two would overcome Pillman, so then Griff Garrison makes the save. MJF clocks Griff Garrison with the diamond ring, and then Pillman makes the save and sets up. I didn't think this would be an Arthur Ashe, but I'm pretty happy that this is going to be kind of a mini feud that culminates at Arthur Ashe, Matt. I think it's a pretty cool spot for Pillman, especially.
Yeah, I guess Arthur Ashe needs an opening contest.
Scheduled for one fall.
I'm not trying to be mean, but Arthur Ashe is like it could be their biggest Dynamite ever. The Brian Pillman Jr. versus MJF didn't scream like a match that needed to be on that card. I'm sorry. Just being honest.
I figured it'd be on Rampage this week.
No, it's Max Caster against.
No, that came later on.
Yeah.
I figured it might be on Rampage. Ruby Soho making her Dynamite debut, taking on Jamie Hayter. Gets the win with the right kick. Britt Baker attacks after the match. Riho trying to make the save, but yeah, it didn't work. Went for Baker was going to do the curb stomp on the belt when Statlander made the save, and I thought it was quite adorable when Riho was sitting on Statlander's knee. Brian Cage challenging Ricky Starks to a match. Of course, Team Taz kind of fucked him over there on their last match. So we probably are getting a finale to that feud here sometime soon. Did they announce it officially for next week or do we not know yet?
What?
Cage and Starks.
They did not announce it officially. God, that's probably going to be an Arthur Ashe too.
FTR and Sean Spears, the Pinnacle taking on Dark Order's Uno, Grayson, and Silver. Johnny Hungy. FTR gets the win. FTR and Spears get the win. And afterwards, Dark Order getting physical, starting to beat each other up in the ring as they are all frustrated before Anna, Jay, and Ty Conti come out and then just stare at them and they don't do anything further. I thought maybe Hangman was coming back tonight. Matt, did you?
No, I'm not really sure when he's going to be back, but
yeah,
because we don't know. He's really good at keeping his private life private.
Yeah.
So we don't really know when his wife has given birth.
Or she has already,
Yeah, for all we know, she already has. We don't know. So it's really hard to pinpoint when he's going to be back because we don't have that, we don't have that information thanks to Hangman being a very private guy.
And plus, news does not, personal things do not leak out of AEW, which is...
No, they most certainly do not.
Which is what brought Punk to AEW, most likely, with the Brody Lee stuff. Same with Bryan Danielson. Tully Blanchard talking with Tony Schiavone. That brings back some memories of the NWA days. Challenging Blanchard is challenging Sting eventually to a match. That'll be interesting. But also saying that Sean Spears is challenging Darby Allin. We get Sammy Guevara coming out to a gigantic pop. He has his signs as we go to the picture-in-picture. They're checking on Griff Garrison and interviewing Brian Pillman, and then the Acclaimed come in and talk some shit. And so it's going to be Max Caster and Brian Pillman on Rampage this week. The Elite come out. And Nick Jackson looking completely ridiculous with that nose ring. They Elite minus Adam Cole because it's time to it's time to give him his own entrance, baby. So Adam Cole comes out, a huge pop and a huge Adam Cole, baby. Adam Cole says it's story time, but first gets in Tony Schiavone's face. How great was that, Matt?
You knew it was coming. I just didn't know it was coming this quick.
He goes, if you look at his fiance at the wrong way, he'll have no problem beating the hell out of him. And then tells him to get out of the ring. Oh, that was something. That was something from Adam Cole, baby. Kenny Omega getting on the mic, saying how he hates interruptions. And as soon as he said that, Bryan Danielson's music hit. And Danielson grabs the mic and says that ask Cincinnati if they want to see Danielson and Omega fight. And of course, a gigantic yes chant for that. And Danielson says that Omega is afraid of him. And Danielson puts Kenny into the S lock, and then the Elite beat him up. But then Christian Cage, Frankie Kazarian, and Jurassic Express make the save. And poor Michael Nakazawa left in the ring all, or no, was it Cutler or Nakazawa that was left in the ring all alone?
Cutler.
And he ate the running knee. And then we end the night with Suzuki and Moxley beating the dog shit out of each other. Holy crap, did Suzuki get busted open over the eye there? I hope we can revisit this in a pay-per-view or something where we get 15 minutes, Matt. I hope we do that sometime, because they did not get enough time here, because they ended the match a few minutes early so they could have Moxley celebrate with his city, which was cool. Good ending, I thought. But hopefully they give those guys some time down the line. I don't think there was really a shitty part of Dynamite tonight, was there?
No, very much enjoyed the show. I thought it was real good. Like I said, my only nitpick on Dynamite is that damn stage right now.
Damn tunnels. What do you want? You want colored tunnels, or what do you want?
I just want them to come out of the proper fucking tunnels every fucking week.
That too. They're probably doing it just to fuck with us.
It's not a smart thing to do.
Right. NXT this week, the very last NXT before we get the new and improved NXT. Great opener with Ember Moon and Kaylee Ray. I thought that was good. Gave him 15 minutes. Kaylee Ray gets the win with the Gory Bomb. They have a bachelor party for Indy Hartwell, which kind of shows the debut of Steph. I forgot her last name, but she was in the party there. She's been in developmental for a little bit. Indie girl. God damn, what's her fucking name? I have to look it up now. It's just gonna bother me.
My God.
Steph DeLander. There we go. She's gonna be known as Persia now going forward, but she was at the party making her unofficial NXT debut. Carmelo Hayes and Santos Escobar had a great match that went about 15 minutes, and Santos Escobar getting the win there. I thought they had a tremendous match there. Definitely want to see more of them. Regal says there will be a fatal four-way between Ciampa, Dunn, O'Reilly, and LA Knight.
Dummy, yeah.
Yeah. The winner gets Samoa Joe. Who do you think comes out on top here, Matt?
Well, it depends. It depends if Pete Dunne signed a new deal or not.
Yeah.
Because if he has, I think it should be him.
Right.
So we'll see.
I thought I saw an update on that, but I missed it. I think I have it somewhere in the headlines. If not, I would not mind seeing Kyle O'Reilly and Joe go at it. I think we're going to win with whoever wins. I would not. Ciampa and Joe would be tremendous, and LA Knight and Joe would be tremendous. So, I'm fine with any of that. The Creed brothers.
I don't really want to see LA Knight and Joe. I feel like we've seen that already.
Right?
Like, didn't they fight in TNA at some point? Like, I feel like they had to have.
I don't think Joe was there.
Was it like they never crossed? It feels like I've seen that match before. Maybe I'm out. Maybe I'm out of my mind, but it feels like I've seen it. Like out of the four, that's the match I want to see the least.
When did Joe come to NXT? Joe came to NXT right when Eli Drake came to Impact.
Oh, there you go. It's amazing. I feel like I've seen that match a dozen times already, and I've probably never seen it at all.
That's probably because it'll probably happen a dozen times on Monday Night Raw in 2 years.
Woof.
Creed brothers destroyed some jobbers. They look fucking impressive. I like the Creed brothers. I think that's a better fit than what they had before in Diamond Mine. So I think it's already an upgrade. They're kind of doing a little slow build with the Diamond Mine and not an immediate push, which is fine by me. Because they lost Tyler Rust when he got fired. And so, I kind of like what they're kind of doing with adding the Creed brothers. I think it's working. NXT tag titles. Io and Zoe took on Casey and Caden. I was hoping for a title change here, but no. They love this opposites attract story, so they're going to continue it with Io and Zoe winning. How great was the Dexter Loomis bachelor party, Matt?
Best thing on the show, in my opinion.
You got Johnny Gargano, who's finally come around on Dexter. Cameron Grimes to the moon. Drake Maverick, who also showed up on another show earlier this week. Odyssey Jones and the zombie referee. Now, if that's not a party, I don't know what a party is. They went go-kart racing. They went axe throwing. No surprise, Dexter Loomis is good with an axe. And then they did a little laser tag. And and then we got the line, you cracked Johnny's nut. All setting up the wedding for Index next week. Mei Ying making her in-ring debut and killed a jobber. She looked pretty damn impressive, though. Where's Xia Li, though? I don't know if she got called up or what happened. I know she's done some dark matches.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on with her.
Yeah, she's all of a sudden been absent from Chin Sha. Next week on NXT,
that act really doesn't work without her there. So
yeah. Next week we get the 4-way for the title. All of a sudden, Frankie Monet getting a title match against Raquel Gonzalez. I have a feeling this is not going to end in a decision. I just have a feeling because the just how quickly they built this match. I think there's going to be somehow a no decision to build up a feud later on. Just my gut. And of course the wedding of Index. MSK, Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan, pretty decent tag match. MSK retains, but the big story was afterwards. Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland say, fuck you, Oni and Burch. We're going to excommunicate you guys from the group.
So, a lot of people think this is a sign that
Dunne signed.
A lot of people think this is a sign that Oni and Burch are going to be a part of the next round of releases.
Ooh. Yeah. There's a rumor going around that there's more NXT releases coming.
Yeah.
Some are, and some of the quotes are long-time guys.
They would be the definition of such.
Yep.
So yeah, like when they got jumped and taken out of the group on Tuesday, everybody's like, "Oh, they're probably out."
Now that you mentioned that, it does feel a lot like Alexander Wolf, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe WWE held off on releases this week because the fucking father of NXT had a fucking heart attack.
I wonder why.
Look, man, if I had to deal with all the stress and pressure of dealing with Vince McMahon on a daily basis, I'd probably have a fucking heart attack too.
And how he's
I feel so bad.
And how he's ruined everything he built.
I feel so bad for him. I hope nothing for the best. I hope for a speedy recovery and he's going to be able to come back and do stuff. But man, after that, like you can't even like think about, to me anyway, like you can't even think about Triple H getting in the ring again.
No, because he said himself it's going to be a good 3 months in order to be ready. There's no way he's going to be. He's not going to return at Mania. No,
like I mean, period.
Yeah, I know.
Like once you have something like this, you're in your 40s. Like you shouldn't be.
Wow, look at Lawler though.
Lawler's a fucking psychopath. Like Triple H is a hell of a lot smarter than Lawler.
Yeah, Triple H was talking about one more run in the ring, but yeah, that's definitely not going to be anytime soon now.
Yeah.
SmackDown this week from Jacksonville, and Pat McAfee has finally
home of AEW
Duval. Pat McAfee says he has defeated COVID and it could suck it, and he'll be back next week for the MSG show. So it's Graves.
Oh God.
It's Graves.
Graves out my fucking ears on Friday. It's bad enough I have to hear him on Mondays.
We got some promos from the Usos, and then Usos and Street Profits, and winner by disqualification, the Street Profits. So we'll continue that feud.
This was hands down one of the worst SmackDowns I've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
not a good show. Really not good.
I didn't hate it as bad, but yeah. I also
Just like the action, the in-ring action for the show was fine, but the creative direction and the decisions that they made ruined the show for me throughout. I fucking hated it. Not a good show. Not a good showing for the Blue Brand.
Paul Heyman may want to change his ringtone for Brock Lesnar as he was being interviewed by Caleb.
That was probably the best thing on the show.
I thought
that segment with Heyman and Big E, probably the best thing on the show.
I thought Big E was behind them with a boombox fucking with him. I didn't realize that was actually his ringtone, and actually that was Brock calling him. I thought it was Big E fucking with him, but then it was even better because Heyman bumps into the janitor, and that janitor turns out to be Big E, who just holds the briefcase and laughs hysterically. And I love that gimmick. Every time Big E just laughs hysterically in Paul's face is just fucking gold. I love it. And of course,
gun to your head, and you have to be right. When Kevin Owens' contract was restructured, were the New Day's contracts restructured as well?
God, I hope so. I
think they were.
I want the party back.
Because
together.
Owens was done in 2023 and got moved to 2022. I think the New Day that were locked in until 2024 probably got bumped to 2023.
Hopefully, Cesaro too, so we can get the party.
I wish we had some details on Cesaro's deal. I really hope he didn't sign a really long extension this year, because he got like that mini push and then they just flattened him again. I really hope he didn't sign a long deal. That man needs to get the fuck out of there.
Yep.
He's so much better than what they do with him.
Becky Lynch came out, and that's when we started hearing fake noise.
Oh, God.
Fake
Stop
noise.
Doing that shit.
Fake noise trying to get us to hate Becky Lynch, and fake noise. My God, there was a fake pop that was so out of place for Bianca Belair as well. Why?
The crowd was behind both women. Just let them be behind both women and let them make up their mind as this shit goes along.
Fucking be organic, man. God.
Yeah, I really hate that shit. Like, if Vince, if that's what you want to fucking do, just put them back in the fucking Thunderdome. Like, why are we even there?
Dolph Ziggler trying to hit on Tony Storm didn't quite work.
Well, at least Tony Storm got on fucking TV.
Right.
It was sort of a terrible storyline, but at least she was there.
And Rick Boogs defeated Dolph Ziggler in like 2 minutes.
I'm already over this shit. I am very tired of the fact that the Intercontinental Champion is playing second fiddle to fucking Rick Boogs. Like, enough of this shit. He's the side act. Nakamura's the star. Stop this nonsense.
When's that guy's deal up? I know he's friends with.
That's a great question.
I know he's friends with Brian. He'll go over to AEW.
Dude, I would love to see Nakamura and Omega in AEW. Yeah. My God, pal.
I'd love to see a little Forbidden Door get a Nakamura and Okada, man.
I'm sure if Nakamura's deal runs out and he goes to AEW, I'm sure TK would not stop him from doing stuff with New Japan if he wanted to.
He'd be at Wrestle Kingdom in a heartbeat. Cesaro, I guess we're starting up with Seth Rollins again. Ended a disqualification because Rollins used a steel chair. And then Seth Rollins went all Edge light on us and tried to do all of Edge's stuff, including...
Yeah, dude, like he's really leaning into this now. It's kind of weird. It's kind of lame.
Busting the bottom bar off of a chair and choking out Cesaro with it, and was getting ready for a concerto, but Edge made the save.
Ah.
We got a little...
that's what I think of that.
Yeah. Well, just wait till we get to Raw.
Oh, God, we're not doing Raw. How many times do I need to fucking tell you that?
Reigns and Heyman talking, and Heyman let out that he spoke to Brock on the phone, and Reigns goes, "How do you know he's in Saskatchewan?" Oh, Heyman shit his pants. Well, maybe he's in Minnesota. And then Reigns goes, "Well, I wonder if he's in Jacksonville."
Paranoid son of a bitch.
Happy Corbin on the KO show. Because we can't do anything else with KO. Well, maybe that's why he's leaving.
You think?
Then we got Corbin cheap shotting KO when he was going to attack Jake Paul. And I like Happy Corbin. At least I'll give it that. But at least they got Logan Paul out on a heel segment, not trying to get pops from the crowd because nobody fucking likes him.
Yeah, at least they learned that. It took them forever, but
Zayn beat Dominic in a couple minutes. We're just watching that clock for the heel turn. He's gonna turn on Daddy. Naomi tried to talk to Sonya Deville, didn't work. Again, she blew her off. And then we got a interview from Finn Balor. The Usos jumping Balor at his entrance before the WWE Universal title match. But eventually Balor would regain his composure and put together a good match with Roman Reigns. But Roman would win with the guillotine choke. But if you did notice something, a little something at the end of the match as Roman's walking up the ramp, Matt. Did you know the lights went kind of red? And we heard a little heartbeat.
yeah, I'm not happy about it, to be honest.
You're not happy about the demon coming back?
No, because then we come back and they're gonna bring the demon back to neuter him. The demon shouldn't be coming back to lose to fucking Roman Reigns. Like I'm not looking forward to that.
Or the demon wins the title and then
if they do that, then I'm all for it. But I don't see them doing it.
Demon wins the title and then we have Brock and Roman in a feud that isn't for the title. That's the best case scenario.
I would love that, but I don't have the faith that you do.
That's why I just said it was best case scenario.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Monday Night Raw was all about the tag team turmoil, which ended up in who the fuck won that even? Oh, Bobby and MVP.
Bobby and MVP. Yay. So you get a rematch next week of the match we saw last week.
Well, welcome to Monday Night Raw. Again, RK Bro still great. Do you think they put 2 titles on Randy?
I doubt it.
Do you think we're gonna get that for the title?
I thought they signed it for Extreme Rules, didn't they?
Did they? Orton and
I thought they did.
Oh, well then they
Maybe
were teasing.
I'm wrong. I don't know.
And then they were teasing the Alma stuff too. Teasing the Alma stuff as well. So there's a lot of tag matches. I mean, it was an okay episode of Raw, but it wasn't much to write home about. McIntyre and Sheamus again tearing the house down. No surprise. Sheamus getting the win thanks to a handful of tights. Clearly, Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH are going to win the tag team titles at Extreme Rules. Spoiler alert. Poor John Morrison. I mean, we thought we were going to get the return of like serious ass kicking John Morrison when the Miz turned on him. Instead, he gets fed to Karrion Kross after 2 minutes.
Woof.
Why? Charlotte Flair retained against Sloppy Jacks. It's almost like Sloppy Joe, Sloppy Jacks. Speaking of Wolf, how about Jeff Hardy coming out for the 24/7? Can we get rid of his
fucking deal up?
Right? Put him with a bro. Man, well, would you like to see him in the Hardy family office?
No, I'd like to see the Hardy family office dissolve when Jeff Hardy gets there. We get the Hardy Boys back.
Drake Maverick standing on the stage staring at Reggie. So Maverick's back on Raw apparently.
That's probably the best thing for him because if he would have been in NXT any longer, he'd have been released.
Yep.
I definitely thought he was going to be one of the ones on the chopping block.
Yep.
But him being moved back to Raw probably saved his ass.
And then we had the tag team turmoil. How about fucking the pop that Omos and Lashley got for the stare down?
As I said on Twitter that night, imagine what happens when you take two people and protect them
Yep.
for 6 months. People can actually get excited when they stand off across each other. To me, this is a perfect example of showing how 50-50 booking doesn't fucking work.
Yep. Exactly.
Like neither of these men have been 50-50 by any stretch of the imagination. And then you pair them off against each other and the crowd loses their mind. This is how you book shit, WWE.
Yep.
When you 50-50 everybody and no one fucking matters, you don't get reactions like that. You didn't get that reaction because they're two big, gigantic men. You got that reaction because they're two very protected members of the roster that are badasses. And now that they're facing off each other, ooh, neither of these guys ever lose. Who's going to fucking win?
Yeah.
That's what you fucking got. Vince will just be like, oh, it's because they're big monsters, pal. Ha, ha, ha. Everybody loves the big guys. Yeah, that's not fucking why people popped. It was because of how they've been booked and protected.
In Vince's mind, that's what it was.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Because Vince's a fucking idiot.
PWI 500 came out today.
It did.
And run down the top 20 real quick here. 20, Jonathan Gresham. 19, Chris Jericho. 18, Suwama. Who's Suwama?
See? I don't fucking know.
Okay. Japanese wrestler. And he works for All Japan. Ultimo Guerrero at 17. Karrion Kross at 16.
Hey, Karrion Kross, here's a spoiler for you, pal. You ain't going to be in the top 20 next year.
Nope. This was all NXT. Number 15, Tetsuya Naito. 14, Darby Allin. 13, Big E. 12, Randy Orton. 11, Cody Rhodes. 10, Rich Swann. 9, Shingo Takagi.
I do not agree with it all.
8, Finn Balor. 7, Will Ospreay. 6, Jon Moxley, who was the number 1 last year. 5, Kota Ibushi. 4, Drew McIntyre. 3, Bobby Lashley. 2, Roman Reigns. And number 1, Kenny by God Omega. Some notables. Keith Lee at 24. 1 ahead of Okada at 25. MJF at 26. Matt's favorite, Nick Aldis at 30.
Way too high.
Cesaro at 32. Hangman at 34. Adam Cole, baby, 37. That was way too low, I think. Jay White at 39. Moose at 40. Gargano at 43. Jey Uso at 45. Jay had a good year, so. Rollins at 48. I don't think I've ever seen him that low. And 1 ahead of him was Lee Moriarty, who became All Elite tonight, didn't he?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. 49, AJ Gray from GCW. Kyle O'Reilly at 50. Ray Phoenix at 55. Nick Gage at 61. KO at 63. Sammy Guevara at 66. Jungle Boy 69. Bray Wyatt at 74. Eddie Kingston 75, 1 ahead of Riddle at 76. Nakamura at 82. Damian Priest at 85. I think that'll go up this year. Way they're pushing him on Raw. Chris Bay at 94. Effie at 95. Wheeler Yuta at 96. Pete Dune at 100. And Janelle at 106. Good to see Allie Catch at 111. Good GCW wrestler there. Matt and Nick at 116 and 117 respectively, because, well, they hardly ever wrestle without one another. I think it happened once in the past year, maybe. Ricky Starks at 122. That should go up. Same with Ethan Page at 123. So there you go. Fightful posting that Adam Cole was surprised to learn that his contract expired, thought it would lasted another 6 months.
Yeah, so did everybody else.
Oh man. Apparently there's some heads gonna roll in the old contract division, huh, Matt?
Well, someone's already dead. That's why that Canyon Steeman or whatever his fucking name was got fired.
Yeah. So Adam Cole was quite surprised by that, and but he said he was in the middle of a very big angle with Kyle O'Reilly, one of his best friends. He wanted to see that out. So good company man that he is, signed an extension through SummerSlam so that feud could play out. And now he's all elite, baby. Talking shit to Tony Schiavone. As we mentioned earlier in the show, well wishes for Triple H, who last week underwent a successful heart procedure up in the northeast part of the country. Had following a cardiac event, and they said the episode was caused by a genetic heart issue. Okay. Right, Matt.
Look, I don't want to recklessly speculate on somebody's health, but to me, there's just too many facts that add up to me, and I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot more than what they're saying, and I just want the best for him. I hope he makes a full recovery and he's feeling great soon. I mean, it's a sucky ass situation to find yourself in, and look, if I had to deal with that man for every day of my work life, I'd probably have a heart attack.
And then tearing down everything you built as quickly as possible. But here we are. Monday Night Raw for Labor Day dropped about 50,000 people to a 1.849. Heels
and NFL comes back next week.
Yep. Heels dropped in episode 4, which I've yet to see episode 4 yet, but Heels dropped down to 79,000. Don't know if that'll be an indicator of renewal or not. Hopefully
it's hard to judge that when it's on fucking Stars.
Yeah. Pay cable.
You know, it's like, how do you even measure ratings on a show like that? That's like, to me, like, you can't really name, like, if you're on like legitimate cable, like if you're on, fucking FX or something like that, you could really judge if people are interested in watching. But when you're on a paid channel like Stars, like, not a lot of people fucking get that. Like, I don't want to see anything happen to the show. I think it's really good. I want to see it get another season. But
exactly.
The numbers. Like, I don't know if that should be considered good on a channel like Stars or not.
I don't know.
Fucking idea.
We haven't really reported on anything like it.
Yeah.
Rampage dropped about 30,000 to 696. So probably can expect 700,000 to be about the sweet spot. Probably going to get a good bump this week. Well, I don't know. It's being taped. That might, I don't know. But at the same time, it still might get a good bump when you get a Pac and Andrade in there. So you might get a little bump, but I think that 700 seems to be the Friday night sweet spot for Rampage, unless there's something absolutely major going on there. Obviously Punk's debut was the kind of the difference there. Impact Wrestling up to 126,000 after they fell below 100,000 the week before. Dynamite last week dipped slowly. Of course, the Punk debut got 1.17 million with a fat 0.48 in the demo. They fell down to 1.047 million. The demo also took a little bit of a hit at 0.37. Be curious to see where that goes now with, of course, Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson making their debuts, and just a tremendous episode of Dynamite all around.
Yeah, I'd be very curious of tonight's number on Friday. I'm very, very interested to see what it comes out at.
SmackDown stayed pretty steady, 2.22 million with Reigns and Balor in the main event. They stayed pretty steady on that. So SmackDown doing good numbers. Raw.
It's easy to do good numbers when you're on Fox.
Mm-hmm. A couple of former NXT stars making their Ring of Honor debut. Jake Atlas and Taylor Rust, aka Tyler Rust from the Dynamite Mind, are going to be making their debut this Sunday at Death Before Dishonor, actually facing each other. Death Before Dishonor is this weekend?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn. I have to try to catch that. Speaking of Death Before Dishonor, the first 11 competitors for the Rumble were announced. The Honor Rumble. The winner will get a future world title shot. Danhausen is in the match, as well as Beer City Bruiser, PJ Black, Dak Draper, Ray Horace, Brian Johnson, Joe Keys, Brian Malonis, Sledge, and Silas Young. Easily out of that group, Danhausen better win that match.
I would want to win.
Huh?
That's who I would want to have win.
Yeah. How long before Danhausen can be all elite?
Depends on when his contract's up. It's rumored to be at the end of this year.
AEW is going to be at New York's newest arena, the UBS Arena, December 8th. They're going to headline there for Dynamite. Brian Danielson commented on his debut. Thank you to the men and women who have worked so hard to make AEW what it is today. I'm still buzzing from last night, and that was only possible because of what you built. I am all elite, and now it's time to kick some fucking heads in. I love Brian. Brian's awesome. And then he gave a shout out to Elliot Taylor for his entrance visit as well. Next week's Impact in 60, going to show the best of W. Morrissey. We already have a best of W. Morrissey. He just got there. I haven't watched him. I have not had time to watch Impact lately, so eventually I will get back on the Impact train. But
I specifically remember last week's episode not being good. I can tell you that much. I don't remember anything about it today, but I remember as I was watching it last week, I remember saying to myself, this isn't good.
I'll tell you what. We already talked about Lee Moriarty. Great moment with Tony Khan on stage today. Was that Dark tapings that happened?
Reminder, yeah, Dark Elevation.
Kenny Omega was interviewed by Pro Wrestling Illustrated, of course, well, because he was number one, and said that it would be an injustice if Kota Ibushi and he didn't write our final chapter. So hopefully that forbidden door can open up again, or if this pandemic could get out of the way and maybe they could wrestle at Wrestle Kingdom. We already talked about Triple H. Get well soon, buddy. How about Kenny Omega's words to Will Ospreay? Your promotion has been ice cold since I left.
Yeah, they've been going back and forth all day.
Yeah, Ospreay saying I'd beat up number one any day of the week and twice on Wednesdays. I think he's trying to get himself a contract or something, or maybe get that forbidden door opened up. I don't know. If we get,
I definitely think we're gonna get those two in a match sooner or later.
Dynamite, little forbidden door.
Yeah, probably.
This was the funniest headline I've seen all week. Ridge Holland says there's nothing negative about the NXT rebrand. No shit, because you're one of the guys that Vince likes. You're okay. You're going to be okay on this rebrand.
Ridge Holland already figuring out how to be a good ass kisser.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. I mean, come on. Woo! I mean, come on. Nothing wrong with that. But Jesus Christ, there's nothing negative about the rebrand. That's because you're going to get pushed. You're the type they want. You'll probably be on the main roster before soon. My God, that just made me chuckle. Made me fucking chuckle. Fightful Select today actually posted an article. Details on WWE contracts. They said to clarify, WWE is fully aware that Owens' deal expires in January. WWE renegotiated several contracts in 2019, adjusting them for higher guarantees. The Fightful was not told the specific terms, but many wrestlers altered their deals. Fightful was told that more of the issues regarding confusion about contracts fell in NXT and the transition between NXT and WWE. Of course, we all know what happened with Malachi Black, only had a 30-day non-compete instead of 90. And WWE revealed many of their deals to make sure nothing caught them by surprise. Unfortunately for them, Adam Cole and Pete Dunne's deals expiring in July caught a lot of people by surprise, including Cole himself, who we just mentioned. Fightful is told that there have been significant heat in relation to people, quote unquote, falling asleep at the wheel with details in planning NXT contracts, and told that those have been handled accordingly, aka you're fired.
Shut up!
Fightful was told that this was not an issue on the main roster, and several wrestlers have spoken with Vince McMahon directly about their deals. WWE was aware of the Owens deal. This is not a surprise. That was similar to Adam Cole or Pete Dunne. But the deal does end significantly sooner than we all thought, huh, Matt? we got grins on our faces when we saw that yesterday, huh?
I had a feeling.
I had a feeling
something was going on because a few weeks ago, Fightful removed Kevin Owens' contract information from their resource page.
Oh, to edit it?
Yeah, like it was gone. Like they just removed them. Like the information they originally had there from the 2024 date was just mysteriously like taken away. And I'm like, there's something going on here.
Mm-hmm.
There's really really something going on here.
We already talked about PWI. Tony Khan admitted during the media scrum that Adam Cole scared the shit out of him on Wednesday nights. Pretty strong sentiment to admit there, huh, Matt?
Well, he's there now, so might as well.
AEW won 74 of the 75 weeks. The reason why the 1 week was the winner, Adam Cole, baby. And now look what happened to NXT. They're all colorful and shit. If you play AEW Elite GM, I do not. It just did not strike me, but CM Punk is getting added to that game in the new content update.
We're adding a whole bunch of content to the game. I hope it makes it more fun to play.
Next week is when that content update drops. Yeah, I just could not get invested in it. Maybe I'll give it another try. The content update, new news and event system, wrestler skin system, new storyline missions, new challenges, new avatars, new finishers, game compendium, segment animations, ranked multiplayer, and a championship belt system. So maybe there's some good stuff in there. Also in the roster, added are Andrade El Idolo, Ryan Nemeth, Malachi Black, Cesar Bonani, Brian Pillman Jr., JD Drake, Thunder Rosa, Wheeler Yuta, Sean Dean, Julia Hart, -1. Sweet. You can sign -1. Anthony Ogogo, CM Punk.
And I have a feeling there'll be a couple other guys on the way soon.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Mick Foley dropping some bombs on the internet saying, if he was an aspiring talent, I'm not sure I would trust WWE creative with my career. I wouldn't either, Mick.
Show me where the lie is.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Mick went on to say, cited Karrion Kross as an example. The problem is WWE is no longer the place for talent to aspire to. Part of it is because AEW is doing a great job of attracting great talent, proven talent, and building younger talent, creating storylines. Part of it is a problem of your own making. I think younger talent sees the way developmental characters are cut or left by the wayside, or in the case of Karrion Kross, greatly watered down, even made a joke of when they debut on the main roster. It's not broke, don't fix it. If I was an inspiring talent now, a big league talent with a major decision to make, I am not sure I would trust WWE creative to do the right thing with my career. You guys did wonders with me, and back in the day, that was a different time, a different place. If it was today, I'm not sure I would trust the powers to be with my career in their hands until that changes. WWE, you've got a problem. No lies there, huh?
Not at all.
Adam
Just
Cole.
funny to hear someone under a WWE Legends deal say it.
Right. Adam Cole calls the debut his favorite night of his career, and reveals that Britt Baker surprised him by bringing family out to Chicago for All Out. CM Punk, this has gotten the WWE marks, ruffled the feathers of the WWE marks. CM Punk says what's happening in AEW is bigger than the NWO invading WCW. He's probably just doing that on purpose too, isn't he?
Hey, boy, it's his opinion, man. He can have it.
Just your opinion, man. I don't know if it's bigger. Time will tell. I'll tell you what, though. Outside of Hogan, take Hogan out of it. Just go call Hall and Nash. You compare the resumes of Hall and Nash to Bryan and Punk. Punk's right. They've got better resumes than those guys did. Obviously,
you could even argue Adam Cole has a better resume than Scott Hall did when he made the jump.
Well, yeah, Scott Hall never won a world championship.
It never even did in WCW.
Nope. Obviously, Hogan turning heel was a seismic shift, and it was like one of the most craziest moments in professional wrestling history. But if you talk about just the outsiders and not Hogan, because Hogan wasn't the outsider, it was just Hall and Nash for a long time. And you compare those two resumes, there's no comparison, in my opinion. Punk's right.
And also, WCW had quite the long head start.
A little bit.
On AEW. But by the time that the outsiders and all them got there.
Yep.
So, I mean, the fact that AEW is doing stuff like this 2.5 years into their existence,
right,
is fucking insanity.
Adam Cole said, well, this might explain why he super kicked him. Jungle Boy is number one on his list for people he wants to face in AEW. Adam Cole making his Dynamite debut next week against Frankie Kazarian. That's going to be a good match, man. I cannot wait. Jon Moxley, the Chicago screw job. Matt Cardona had an open challenge for his GCW world title at Art of War Games, and Frank the Clown answered it. Because obviously they just wanted, both Cardona and Frank wanted to troll GCW fans, and so they were pissed off. So then G Raver came out, so maybe this guy's going to challenge Cardona, but he brought out some druids, and one of the druids stayed behind. It was Jon Moxley, gave Cardona a paradigm shift, and apparently that was an official match because your new GCW champion's Jon Moxley. And he stood face to face with Nick Gage at the end of the show. Boy, it was a great ending. I loved it. Jon Moxley says that he's addicted to the drug of fighting Nick Gage and cannot wait for his fix on October 9th. October 9th is when GCW returns home, and we'll get Nick Gage and Jon Moxley, and that's going to be a fucking hell of a main event. I cannot wait.
The first of many, according to bodyslam.net. Apparently this feud's going to go all the way to WrestleMania weekend. So
nice. Eric Rowan said that the concept for the Bludgeon Brothers gear resembles what Karrion Kross is wearing.
Woof.
Maybe it's good that Brody Lee, rest in peace, and Big Red didn't have to wear that shit. Moving on. BT this week, the seance. Well, not only did it bring back Sour Boy, but then Adam Cole all of a sudden showed up, not knowing where he was at. Thought he was still at PWG Hall, wasn't it? Corrigan Hall, right? Or what's that called? Is that Corrigan Hall? Is that what that's called? I forget.
Just in Reseda, California.
Yeah, Cole thought he was worried. I can't wait, man. BT with Cole's gonna be so much.
He was looking for Super Dragon.
Yeah, right. BT with Cole is going to be so great, isn't it? Having Cole.
It was great. It was great with him before. I'm sure it'll be great with him again.
Yep. CM Punk says he will for sure tag with Sting in AEW one day. Might face him in AEW one day too. You never know.
Can't rule it out.
I almost feel like Punk and Allen and Sting against 2.0 and Garcia's got to happen at some point, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were going to do that before he moved on to the Team Taz stuff, but
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Tony Khan said that CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, and Adam Cole all came together on handshake deals.
Daniel. Who's Daniel?
Tony Khan said Daniel Bryan once. He's like, shit, I won't do that again.
No, he said Ruby Riott.
Oh, was it Ruby Riott? Okay.
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson on in the All Bryan Danielson on the All Out post media scrum said Vince McMahon can be sometimes overprotective. That's one way to put it.
Also, just in, water is wet.
And and he wants to push his limits within AEW. CM Punk talking about Cole and Danielson says he feels like a kid at Christmas with those two guys showing up. I would too. I feel like a kid at Christmas, don't you?
Punk said he gave him a boner.
Oh, I remember
He's
that.
like, I'm not gonna lie, I got a boner.
That was good.
And I'm like, thanks, Punk. Thanks for sharing.
That was tremendous. Chris Jericho says he believes AEW will start beating Raw in the ratings within the next 6 months. I don't doubt him.
I think he means the demo.
Well, he is the demo.
And I think
guy.
the demos. I think that's actually possible. But I don't know if it's possible in viewership. But I think the demo is actually a possibility.
Interesting story on Rick Boogs. And again, here's the fun of working for Vince. Boogs had 12 hours to learn Shinsuke Nakamura's theme, and he hadn't practiced guitar in 15 years.
No time like the present, pal.
Yeah, and it's working. I like the pairing. And here we go. WWE does offer Pete Dunne a contract extension. According to Fightful, they don't know how long.
They also don't know if he accepted it.
Don't know if he accepted it either.
The fact that he's still on TV right now tells me that he has. But because if he hadn't accepted it, like, why are you still pushing it forward right now? I wouldn't be. I would just wipe him off television until he made up his fucking mind.
Yeah. I think I agree. I think he's going to resign, but time will tell, baby. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Lost the Midcard. My God, what a week it's been in pro wrestling, and it's just going to continue to get crazier and crazier. I'd like to invite you to subscribe to our podcast. We are on Anchor, and thanks to Anchor, we are on Pocket Cast, iTunes, Spotify, any of your favorite podcasting apps. Just search for Lost the Midcard, find that thing that says new feed and subscribe. We did lose our old feed, unfortunately, so make sure to sign up for the new feed. That way, when a new episode comes your way. We're also on the YouTube video version of that podcast. Maybe we'll get Matt Black's face back on this podcast. What do you think, Matt?
Maybe for the live show.
Well, I hope so for the live show. Kind of need it. But YouTube, search for Lost the Midcard as well. We got our links also everywhere. LITMCpodcast.com or our Twitter. I don't know if LITMC podcast is updated. I got to talk to Mark Show and make sure. I'll double check on that. But our Facebook pin post and our Twitter pin posts are updated with our latest links to go subscribe to the podcast or YouTube versions. You can follow Matt on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. I am on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And let's ride off into that sunset. And Matt, get some final thoughts from you.
A year and a half ago, if you'd have told me AEW had the roster that it had right now, I don't know if I would have believed it. I'm very excited to see where AEW's roster is a year and a half from now.
Man. Kevin Steen, Bray Wyatt, if he wants to wrestle. I still don't. I'm not convinced Bray Wyatt is coming back to wrestling now. But
if he comes back to wrestling, it'll be for AEW.
mm-hmm.
I feel like he feels like he has something to prove.
He does.
I feel like he has a chip on his shoulder.
Uncle Dave said he was the third of the three big ones, but maybe apparently the third was Mr. Steen instead. But I mean, it was a tremendous. I mean, pay-per-view was tremendous. There was nothing to complain about at all for All Out. It was a tremendous show, a great 4-hour pay-per-view. Dynamite, Jesus, this might have been the fastest Dynamite had flown by for me in a while. And Dynamite's always good, but
Dynamite always flies by for me.
But my God, it was even faster than normal today. It was just holy crap. But Dynamite was so good, and I mean, we got Arthur Ashe coming up, and we got that's going to be our 300th episode, which we may be probably going live for via StreamYard. So that'll be fun. Stay tuned for that. We got episode 299 next week, and then we'll kind of figure out some logistics and stuff and see if we're going to go live for 300. So stay tuned for that. We'll obviously be posting it all throughout the week on the socials and stuff too, to kind of remind you and try to get a good audience for that show. But thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard, and what a wild week it's been, and it's only going to get wilder. So come back next week for episode 299, and we'll see what we have to talk about.